Next, we're going to talk about shooting and practicing in scenarios where it's going to be possible awkward shooting angles, it's going to be awkward positions from your tree stand, and even a sitting position from your tree stand. And the reason we want to focus on that is how many times during the rut have you had a deer come in from an angle that you just absolutely did not anticipate, and know that a buck could come in from any different direction when they're chasing a doe, and you need to be prepared and confident to take that shot at that awkward angle or from that awkward position from your tree stand. The next thing we want to focus on is shooting from the ground, but focusing on different types of shooting positions, whether it be from kneeling down, shooting from behind a tree, or either from a sitting position if you're sitting in a ground blind. And again, all these things are going to increase your skills and increase your confidence. So with this upcoming season, no matter what situation you're presented with, you're going to be able to confidently take that shot. All right, this is one of the scenarios we talked about where deer could come in at a very tough angle. In this situation, this deer's almost straight down at a short distance. It's wide open, so we're going to take the shot. But again, you just need to be cognizant of how that arrow is going to fly and how it's going to impact that deer at a pretty much straight down angle. Next, we're going to practice shooting from an awkward position from the tree stand. And it's going to be somewhat at a downward angle as well. But again, it's going to be from an awkward position where the deer has walked behind the tree. And I'm going to have an open shot that I'm going to be able to take. But I'm going to have to reposition myself and lean around the tree in order to take that shot. And something else I want you to think about is that I'm shooting from a very small lock-on. And so my feet in this situation are going to be a little bit closer together, and my body positioning is going to be a little bit different than if I were shooting outside in the backyard. So I want you to be aware and cognizant of these things. And if you practice this, again, when this scenario presents itself in the field, you're going to be comfortable in taking the shot. This is why we take the time to practice in the off season. You saw from the first scenario, we had simulated where a deer had come in and almost was at a straight down angle, and we practiced that. And then you can see in this situation where again it's a pretty elevated and angled position from the shot here, but I had to actually lean around the tree to be able to take the shot. Now we're going to practice from the ground, and I'm going to set up a scenario here for you where we've got a deer that's feeding over a ridge, working down the ridge, and I'm going to have a shot where I'm behind this tree and I'm going to kneel down and lean around the tree to be able to take the shot. A couple things I want you to be aware of. The first is it's going to be very important that when you come to full draw that you do it behind the tree so that you don't get busted by that animal. The second thing is that when you're leaning out around the tree to take the shot, be aware of any sticks or debris that could hit your arrow or your limbs that could impact the shot. All right, the last scenario that we're going to simulate is a deer walking through the brush, and this is your last chance to take a shot. And it's going to be in a very small window of opportunity, but we're going to practice, and we've got our target set up in the brush, but we still have a small window, but another few steps and that deer is going to be in the thick and in the brush where it's just not going to be feasible to take a shot. All right, we've practiced a number of scenarios in shooting from the ground. The first one we practiced shooting around the tree, and we talked about some important things to be aware of. In this scenario, we practiced where that deer was walking through the brush, and we had one last window of opportunity. And so again, it's important to take these types of scenarios into consideration and practicing them so that way you have the confidence and you prove your skill set and your shooting technique, so when presented with these different types of shooting situations next year, you'll feel very confident and comfortable in taking the shot. I'm Brian Stevens from Stickum Archery, where we get you closer.